happy Tuesday, and hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that you reflected on things to be thankful for. I know I did. I had a wonderful time with my family. We had food, fun, and fellowship with a few friends. So, this week's topic is Fool's Paradise. Fool's Paradise. My name is Juanita Williams. I am a purpose conduit. I am the link to life beyond pain, and I am the catalyst to discovering purpose. And this is today's Tuesday Journal. Again, the topic for today is Fool's Paradise. So let's dig in. Fool's Paradise. What does that mean? Fool's Paradise is a state of happiness based on a person's not knowing about or denying the existence of potential trouble. Proverbs 30, chapter 30, verses 7 through 9 say this. Oh God, I beg two favors from you. Let me have them before I die. First, help me to never tell a lie. Second, give me neither poverty nor riches. Give me just enough to satisfy my needs. Or if I grow rich, I may deny you and say, who is the Lord? And if I am too poor, I may steal and thus insult God's holy name. That's Proverbs chapter 30, verses 7 through 9. And then Luke 12, verses 16 through 21 tells a story that'll go great with Fool's Paradise. So listen in. And I'm reading from New Living Translation. And it says this, then he told them a story, and he is talking about Jesus. A rich man had a fertile farm that produced fine crops. He said to himself, what should I do? I don't have room for all of my crops. Then he said, I know, I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones. Then I'll have room enough to store all of my wheat and other goods. And I'll sit back and say to myself, my friend, you have enough stored away for years to come. Now take it easy. Eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, you fool, you will die this very night. Then who will get everything you work for? Yes, a person is a fool to store up earthly wealth, but not have a rich relationship with God. And that's Luke, the 12th chapter, verses 16 through 21. The phrase, tear down barns and build bigger ones comes from a parable Jesus told, like I said, found in Luke, the 12th chapter, about a rich man with a bountiful harvest. The man decides to tear down his existing barns and build larger ones to store his grain, planning to live a life of luxury. God calls him a fool for this, God calls him a fool for this, stating that his life will be demanded of him that night, and his stored wealth will be for someone else to inherit. Here's the parable's meaning. Materialism versus true riches. The parable teaches that accumulating material wealth for one's own security and pleasure is foolish in the eyes of God. It talks about, or gives an insight on short-sightedness. The rich man is short-sighted because he focuses on earthly possessions while ignoring his spiritual well-being and the fact that his death is inevitable. That meaning that even if he didn't die that night, at some point he was going to die. Because the word said is appointed, every man has an appointed time to die, and that's just paraphrased. Being rich towards God, the parable concludes by contrasting the man's actions with the importance of being rich towards God, meaning to have a relationship with God and to focus on spiritual values rather than material wealth. And I think that's very important. Spiritual values are very important for life. Colossians, 3rd chapter, 9th verse, New Living Translation says this. Don't lie to each other, For you have stripped off your old sinful nature and its all wicked deeds. So as you remember, when I started out reading in Proverbs, two favors were asked of God. The first one we talked about was riches. This time we will talk about lying. He says, "Oh God, I beg two favors of you. Let me have them before I die. First, help me to never tell a lie." So now we're going to talk about the A part of the verse. Him asking that God will help him to never tell a lie. And Colossians 3:3-9 talks about not lying to each other, because we have stripped off our old sinful nature, because we are now children of the Most High God. And here's what the Bible says about lying. It's an abomination to the Lord. Lying lips are detested by God, who takes delight in those who are trustworthy. Lying is associated with evil. Lying is listed alongside other evils that come from the heart. So we always have to check our heart daily, such as murder, adultery, and greed, as these are what defile a person, according to Matthew, the 15th chapter, verses 18-20, and you can read that at your leisure. Lying is a fleeting and destructive practice. Getting treasures through a lying tongue is described as fleeting vapor and a snare of death. And lastly, lying is part of your old self. If you are a new creation in God, you shouldn't desire to lie anymore. Lying is considered an old practice. It's sinful self that a believer is commanded to put off and replace with truthfulness. Let me read that again. Lying is a part of the old self and is considered a practice of the old sinful self that a believer is commanded to put off and replace with truthfulness. And that is today's Tuesday Truth, and it's Fool's Paradise. We don't want to lie, and we don't want to. I'm not saying that we can't gain wealth on this earth, but our riches should be stored up in heaven. We should be more concerned about our spiritual man, because God is going to provide. He always does. Whether you have a whole lot of money or not a whole lot of money, God always provides. And don't be like the rich man with all of that grain stored up, tearing down barns to build other ones so he can store more grain, and just gonna lie back and, hey, enjoy everything, drink and be merry, because you never know when your number is up. You never know when God is going to call you home or call you. So build up your spiritual wealth, your relationship with God. That's what's most important. Everything else will be added to you. The word says that as well. That is today's Tuesday Truth. My name is Juanita Williams. I am a purpose conduit. I am the link to life beyond pain and the catalyst to discovering purpose. And this is today's Tuesday Truth. Have a magnanimous week. May God bless you. May He keep you. May He make His face shine upon you. And may He be gracious to you. I'll see you next time. Bye now.